Today we're going to be talking about fixed blade knives, but very specifically, we're going to be talking about fixed blade knives that you would give to someone who maybe doesn't use a knife that often. So with that context, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing I wanted to figure out is a knife that I could give to a 10-year-old that's kind of going to be something we're going to train with. Like obviously this is going to be supervised, and I wanted to pick something that would be very, very sharp, but also have a very good handle and would be secure and all of the things, right? I wanted something that could be developed, that you could develop muscle memory with, you could learn, and so on. So the logical answer is the 511 Basic, right? That's the logical answer. It's the best $10 knife in the entire world. There's no exceptions to this rule. And yeah, it's a great knife, but here's the problem. There's a couple problems. Number one, my daughter is left-handed. That's the first thing, and this is a right hand only. So that's not going to fly for me personally. So that was out. Now I know that's a silly reason to necessarily not go with this, but the other reason was a bit more important, and that is retention. I'm not super keen on how light the retention is on this sheath. It's not completely horrible, but it certainly could be better. Now the companion sheaths, especially the new ones, they have incredible retention, but it's probably a little bit too much for most people. Sorry, for my daughter, but for the majority of people, I think this thing is absolutely ridiculously good. I mean, no question, I would absolutely love to carry this, and especially if you're right-handed, this is going to work great. Same thing is true with the Mora Garberg, maybe even a little bit better because it's kind of like a nice balance between being grippy and not grippy, and there's enough sticking out that I can grab it, but I wouldn't start off with this. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of out. Then I went with something like these. Okay, so we have the Eldris from Mora. The problem is the sheath here because number one, you can only carry it as a neck knife, and there's not enough for the handle, so the accidental kind of potential mechanical injury for having your hand be too close isn't something I wanted to avoid. So that one is out. Then I thought about the Scout Feather from Outdoor Element. Now this makes a lot of sense because it locks in the hand. It's a sort of a saber ground blade, so pretty like versatile blade shape. It has a true 90-degree spine. It has a ferro rod built into it, a little sharpener, and the whole thing. It'd be a good thing to learn on. But I've only ever really found it useful as a neck knife, more so than one that you carry on your hip. And I wanted to be something that would be more of a belt knife than something that was a neck knife. So it's a good option, and it has the perfect amount of tension on the sheath. Not too much, not too little, but it's not something we're going to go with this time around. Now the Odin Wolf is a new one to me, and it's around $25. It's got a great rubberized handle, but unlike the Eldris, you actually have your hand in the proper position, and there's actually a thumb ramp to remove it. And I'm telling you what, they really got it right. When it comes to the sheath, they absolutely nailed it. So it'd be great for a neck knife. It'd be pretty good with an ulti-clip, but it's not going to be a belt knife. So it comes with this, but it kind of sits a little bit high, and it's not very secure. I'm actually not a fan of this clip whatsoever. So that one is out, which left me with something that I probably should have thought of at the very beginning, the Pendleton Mini Hunter. Now this is my version with a custom sheath that I bought a while back from a friend, and it's fantastic. I've used it on a ton of things. The coating is held up very well, and it comes in CPM 3V. And you could still get this for around $60. But I realized they have upgraded the base model as well. It used to be like AUS 8. Now it's in AUS 10A, a Japanese steel that's very similar to VG10 in performance. So it has a 90-degree spine, nice and thick on this one, so I'm not really worried about breaking the tips. You know, it's a bit more similar to the Mora Robust here, so it's a bit very similar in thickness to that. Overall, I think it's a very, very good option, and to cap everything off, they've improved the sheath as well. What I remember about my version in 3V is without this strap, it just fell right out. Now it's not doing that, and there's just enough. It's just enough tension. Not too much, and there's a thumb ramp if you need to push up on it. So I like that a lot, but what's even better is that with the button clasp, like it really holds on to it. And I really like that. And as you can see, I've actually set this up left-handed because the attachment points are completely ambidextrous. Boom. Perfect, perfect. It even has a nice handle that's not too big. It's just about what I'm looking for here. So this was my conclusion for my daughter to use at Georgia Bushcraft, and I'm pretty excited about it. Now, obviously, this is going to be supervised, and we're going to be learning some new skills, and I'll be learning as well. But I definitely wanted to start with something that would be kind of in the right ballpark, right? The right grip with a guard, you know, with a good sheath, and it's secure, and then we can, you know, treat it the correct way. Now, as far as other members of my family and other people, I'll be bringing some other things like the more basic. I'll probably bring also the spark, and I'll probably, for fun, show people this, which is the more robust, my favorite of pretty much any of the models. And I have made an in-pocket sheath with a slightly higher retention using hot glue, and then I've hot glued a ulti-clip to the outside so I can use it as an in-pocket fixed blade. It is very humorous to me to use a $16 pocket clip, I think, close to that price, on a $16 knife. I mean, I find that incredibly hysterical, basically doubling the cost of the knife. But what I did is I cut off the normal pocket clip, and then I cut off all of this part right here that's normally sticking out, and then attached the ulti clip from the front so I could use it in my right pocket. So yeah, having a little bit of fun, enjoying it. I'm really excited to head out to Georgia Bushcraft next week. I'm going to be talking multi-tools, going to be meeting a lot of new people, and I'm going to get some time in the outdoors to relax, which I don't do often. There won't be as much filming, but I will certainly be doing a couple of things here and there. That's pretty much it for today. If you have a knife that you have started someone off on as their very first knife, let me know down in the comments, which one would you pick, especially if they're left-handed. As always, thank you guys for your time, and we'll talk again soon.